feel so fortunate that I somehow escaped 10 years of getting hit without more damage.
Yeah, I think that too. I mean, I don't know how much damage I actually have, though. Sometimes I wonder about, like...
How many concussions do you ever get? Do you know?
Oh, I've had a lot. I have no idea. I have no idea. I got one skiing a couple years ago. My last time skiing. I'm like, I'm done. I fucked my knee up, and I fucking banged my head hard. Some lady was like really new, and she didn't know what she was doing, and she's like kind of sliding into the middle of the trail, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. I came around this corner, and as I come around this corner, this lady's just like sliding into the trail, and these either kill her or fall down. And so I went to try to get around her. I knew I was going to fall anyway. I couldn't. There's no way. I just couldn't adjust quick enough, and I fucking skis went out from under me, banged my head, back of my head off the ground, and the whole rest of the day I was just like confused, and like I couldn't, my coordination was off, everything was screwy. Like I went to get on the chairlift and I fell like an old man, and I couldn't get back up. The lady had to help me up, and I was like, what is wrong with me? And I wrote, hey stupid, you have a concussion. And I was like, oh, okay.
I had a really bad one in '93, and it was so bad that you could see the cerebral contusions on my head in I had a CT scan.
Ooh.
And I was, for 2 to 3 months, I had a headache. It wouldn't go away for 2 to 3 months.
How did you get it?
Sparring.
Oof.
Yeah, I used to do this dumb thing where I was a middleweight, so I would spar 2 rounds with a welterweight, 2 rounds with a middleweight, 2 rounds with a light heavyweight.
Oh my God.
So I wanted to the opponent would be fresh for 2 rounds, so I was getting more and more tired as the opponent is getting stronger but slower.
Were you competing?
No, I had stopped competing by this point, so there was literally no reason for me to be doing this. This was so dumb. This is like I was in college at this point, right?
Oh,
so
God.
I'm a college student who would still train really, really hard, and on the 5th round, so the first round with that guy who's a light heavyweight, I still remember his name was Mike, and this was even by the standards of a light heavyweight, he hit like a mule. He just was. He has such a hard shot, and on that particular day, I was just not feeling good. But I just didn't listen to myself, right? I was like, you're going to finish these 6 rounds no matter what, even though I felt horrible. And he got me with straight right after straight right after straight right. And at the end of those 6 rounds, I went down to cool off on the speed bag. And just, for people watching who don't know what that's like hitting a speed bag, you shouldn't feel anything. Like there's no weight to the dumb thing, right? But just the impact of the side of my hand on the speed bag made it feel like I was getting kicked in the head.
Oh my God.
And, I went home that day, passed out, had no recollection of anything, got up the next day to run, couldn't run. I mean, so finally 2 days of this, and I sheepishly told my parents, I'm like, yeah, I think something's wrong. So we go to the hospital, I get a CT scan, they're like, yeah, you've got, contusions on your brain.
Jesus Christ.
And they were like, wait a minute, you're an engineering student? Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I've been doing this for like 10 years. I know what I'm doing. They're like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I know quite a few students who were in college who were also actively sparring at MMA, and I'd watch them get after it. And I knew that, they relied on their brain, and this was just for fun. I was like, God, it's such a risky endeavor. It's so dangerous because you're going to get hit. It's not like anything else. Like even in skiing, like falling down and hitting your head like that is kind of rare. Like it only happened to me once, or all the years that I was skiing. But getting hit in the head happens every time you spar, unless you're like so exceptional. And Willie Pep, you're fucking Pernell Whitaker out there,
Wilfred Benitez.
It's interesting. I was watching. Well, even Wilfred Benitez got stopped. I was watching Willie Pep. There was a documentary or a YouTube video rather on Willie Pep. And he actually was fine and lucid as he was older, which is really interesting. Like, that guy had more than 200 fights.
I know, isn't it amazing how much those guys fought back then?
Oh, my God. But you look at, like, Sugar Ray Robinson when he was older, it was so sad. It was such a shame.
Henry Armstrong was okay at the end of his life, wasn't he?
Was he?
I think so. That guy was amazing.
George Foreman seems fine.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Of all those old timers, if I could go back and meet any of them, I'd like to have met Dempsey.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet it was like you meeting a wolf.
Yeah.
I bet he was like a wolf. He just seemed so savage.
Like when I was young, I was obsessed with